So, who are these two people, guys? Ada and Homer, right? They ran away from the plantation. Okay, so who is this guy that Homer is talking to? His name is Suleiman, right? Yeah. And then Homer's answer, I know, right? Homer's answer was, I suppose not. What was the question that Suleiman asked Homer, everybody? Well, do you belong to Mr. Crumb? Yeah. And then he said, I suppose not. I think this was a very significant moment. And then this guy, Suleiman, he bravely claims that no plantation ever had me. He's a former slave, so he used to work at a plantation. He had a slave owner. He ran away from the plantation multiple times, and then he was brought back. He was captured, and that's why every time one of his fingers was cut off. Yeah, but then he didn't stop, escaping. So he belonged to the slave master and then the plantation physically, but he's bravely claiming that, well, they might have owed my body, but they never owed my spirit. So slavery, it gave this guy Suleiman a lot of pain, but every time his finger got cut off, every time he got stronger. Yeah, and then this guy he already escaped, so he could go to north and enjoy a free life, but he's returning to the south to help the younger generation, to help other people, and then deliver them out of suffering. So that's very admirable of this guy, Suleiman, right? So when Homer answered, I suppose not. I don't think I belong to Mr. Crumb any longer. When he said that, this was a very significant moment, awakening for Homer as well, because he finally realizes that his master is himself, not Mr. Crumb. So slavery may own a person's body, but it can never crush a person's soul and spirit. So Homer broke away from the chains that captured his body, and right now his mind is also breaking away from the mental chains as well. So that's what I thought was very significant about this scene. Yeah. Okay. So tell me anything that you know about this character, Nora. Who is she? She's very quiet. Yeah. Opposite of Mr. Crumb. Yeah. And anything else? She's a white girl. Yeah, she's the daughter of Mr. Crumb. She refuses to talk. But who does Nora care about the most? She cares about Rose very. Why does she care about Rose that much? Because
She cares for him.
because Rose is a special person for Nora. When Nora was young, Rose babysat her. She was Nora's babysitter, and Nora's family didn't really pay attention to her because she had a strange scar on her face and she didn't really talk that much. But Rose was the only person who gave the warmth to Nora. That's why she feels very much attached to Rose. And whose mother is Rose, everybody? Ada and Homer. Yeah, Rose is Ada and Homer's mom. So originally, Ada, Homer, Rose, and Anna, they planned to escape together, but only Ada and Homer successfully got away, and Rose was captured back to the plantation, and she was whipped really severely on the back, and that's why she's wounded very much. And Nora was seeing the wounds, deep wounds on Rose's back, and she feels very sick. She feels very much disturbed and sad. So, as her way of secret rebellion against the system of slavery and to show her anger quietly, what did Nora choose to do? Put meat at the backs of Rick and Ron. So what happened to Rick and Ron because of the meat?
Oh, got eaten by a bear.
Almost got eaten by the bear. The bear was attracted to the meat because of the smell, right? So Nora is a white girl and she was born into the privileged, the rich family, but she didn't choose to stay blind to other people's suffering. So she was a very sensitive soul who was able to feel other people's pain. Yeah, okay. So let's practice 45 seconds all together. Yeah, let's cover our ears. Yeah, and now we're gonna get started with Eunice. Okay, everybody, practice. Ready, set, start. Well, the question that Suleiman asked Homer was a very important one. He asked him, "Oh, do you belong to Mr. Crumb?" And then he said that, "No, I don't belong to. I guess I don't belong to Mr. Crumb any longer." This shows that um, this signifies a moment when Homer wakes up from his mindset of being a slave, but now he recognizes his own independence and free will. Also, it's very admirable of Slippin that he didn't just escape to the north and then enjoy his freedom, but he's willing to help other people and deliver other people out of the trouble. And Nora is a different character in the family. Okay, so let's get started with Eunice. Yeah, Eunice talk, other people practice. Ready, set, start.
I think someone chose to be a broker after escaping from some plantation.
Yeah.
And a broker is a person who helps people to escape from like a
Slavery.
plantation
Yeah.
or something else.
Ah.
And this reminded me of North Korea because there are brokers in China
Oh.
North Koreans to escape, and that seems slaves in North Korea seem to seems quite similarly.
Yeah.
And I think Nora put meat in Rick and Ron's bag because Nora didn't like Rick and Ron that much.
Yeah, that reminded of the North Korean situation. They have the same blood and the same appearance with us, but then they are completely stripped of their freedom. Yeah, I feel very bad and sad when I think about them as well. Thank you very much, Eunice. Let's move on to Jay. Okay, Jay talk and Alice practice silently. Ready, set, start.
What Suleiman means is that he was a slave, but at the same time he was not a slave. He was a slave because he was brought from Africa and made from work, but he was also not a slave because he ran away. And even though the slave people cut his fingers, now he has freedom. I think Nora is a very kind girl that cares about all people and thinks all people are same because Rose is very special for Nora, but Rose is a black, but Nora still cares about Rose even though she's black.
Oh, yes. So Suleiman teaches us that some people might try to own us and force us, but they can never own our thoughts and spirit. Very good. Thank you, Jay. Let's move on to Alice. Alice talk and Dojin silently practice. Ready, set, start.
Someone said that no foreign has owned him, and I think the word is very significant in this novel because Mr. Solomon said that the owners can own his body but not his spirit because, and I think so too because one's body can be sold with money in that situation. However, the spirit of one can be sold if the owner of spirits agrees others to own them. And also, I think Noah's character is very thoughtful.
Oh,
He really knows a lot.
Oh yeah, Nora is very thoughtful. And then people might try to control our bodies, but they can never control our mind and we can stay strong in difficulty. Very good, Alice. Let's move on to Dojin. Ready, set, start.
I think Homer's line reflects Homer's freedom.
Oh, so sorry. Dojin이 talk and Yui silently practice. Okay, sorry. Ready, set, start.
I think Homer's line represents freedom.
Yeah.
Because Homer and Peter is now spiritually away from Snopes and literally away from Snopes, and also Homer and Nita are. I think Homer was able to say that because he was protected by Solomon and the tree people. And also, I think Nora is a humble girl, humble and quiet girl. And she doesn't really like the twins. And I think she put
Oh.
because
Because she wanted to protect the kids of Bruce. Yeah, and then I agree that Nora is a very humble person. She doesn't think of herself as a special person just because she's white. Okay, thank you for sharing, Dojin. Let's move on to Yumi. Yumi talk and Noella, please practice silently. Ready, set, start.
so Solomon said that no plantation ever owned himself. And I think he said it because he is one independent person, just like the white people
Uh-huh.
plantation are
Mm.
and I think his words are right because someone can force someone else about when it comes to physical activities. So we can force someone else to do something.
Yeah.
But we can't force someone else to sing in a specific way.
Yeah.
Just like that, the owners of the plantations can sell and buy the slaves.
Control their mind too. Yeah. So he was a very independent person, and it shows us that black people are equal to white. Yeah. When the American country it started, the beginning of the Declaration of Independence, it said that all men are created equal. Yeah, but this is the moment when they're finally living up to that statement. Okay, Yumi, thank you. Noella, talk. And Sumi, please silently practice. Okay, ready, set, start. Yeah.
Even though he is white, however, he cares about black people like Rose and Homer and Ava. Also, her family owns the plantation, and with slaves, doesn't discriminate them and love them. So she put the meat and drink and rum back to save them.
Oh, I totally agree with you, Noella. She's fearless. She's white, but she doesn't think of herself as a special person. She's full of compassion and sympathy, and she does not discriminate against the black people just because of their skin color. That was wonderful, Noella. So, Sumin talk and Daniel silently practice. Ready, set, start.
I think it means that Solomon got freedom from his courage when he says any firm haven't owed him.
Yeah.
And Homer's line, I suppose not, means that he finally realized that the whites could own their body, but they could not take their minds. And also, many other slaves have complained about having an owner. I think when human being having an owner is not fair because we cannot
Oh yeah. Well, human being has basic rights and basic freedom. Yeah.
white and black.
Oh.
They're the same.
Yeah, I know. So it doesn't make sense that one human being can own another human. Yeah, he was very courageous, and that's what gave Suleiman the freedom. Very good, Sumi. Thank you for sharing. So, Daniel talk, and then Ninja silently practice. Okay, ready, set, start.
The woman thinks that he strongly disagrees with slavery and never wants to be owned to others. Solomon, Solomon may be owned sometimes, but in his heart he was never owned. So, to overstate that, Solomon said that the farm is his. Homer's uncertain answer, I suppose not, means that Homer has small little wolf he went to his owner. So
Oh.
it shows that Homer is afraid of owner because he said that owner
Oh.
might hear his voice.
Oh. Oh yeah. So he did not confidently say, "No, I don't belong to Mr. Crumb," but he was hesitant and said, "I suppose not." That shows that he still is very fearful of his former owner and that he still has some remaining loyalty to where he was born. Very nice. Very keen analysis, Daniel. Okay. Binja talk and other people please keep quiet. Okay. Ready, set, start.
Asks Solomon that what plantation is being taken,
Mm.
and then she said that no plantation is all new, and by the book, Solomon escaped for 3 times in the different plantation,
Uh-huh.
and he is not in the plantation right now.
Uh-huh.
He and he he asked to Homer that what is he is in the plantation,
Mm-hmm.
and Homer said, "I suppose not."
Mm-hmm.
I think he symbolized that to make Homer to think, and Homer and Ava to think that their mind
Is finally free,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so Homer was awakened from the slavery that was in his mind as well. Thank you.